Guys, there is a brand new leak on Reddit talking all about the future of Marvel movies. This includes 3 new Avengers movies that are in development and a lot of details about what the next couple of phases will actually look like.
It's like the news, but for nerds. Subscribe so you never miss an episode.
Today's shout out goes to Paul Munoz. Indeed, taking down the Scroll Queen on television is what earned Norman Osborn the trust of the world. We will do another nerd card question at the end of this video. What's up, everybody? Happy Tuesday to you. I'm, of course, Josh. This is the Den of Nerds, and man, do we got a tasty Marvel show for you today. Last night, something really weird happened on Reddit where a leak, supposedly by a user named Roger Wardell, was posted in the Marvel subreddit by a different user, and that post has since been removed, and you know what that means. Do you know what that means? Because let me know, because I don't understand Reddit I don't get it. But I digress. This post came out and blew up over the internet. People were like going crazy over this thing because apparently this guy is relatively new to Reddit, and one of the first posts he ever did was spoiling Fat Thor last December. And he since spoiled a lot of stuff for Endgame. I mean, this guy knew a lot of the twists and turns that were coming for Endgame. And so people somehow think that makes what he said yesterday valid, which in some ways I can agree with, but not all, and we'll get to that. Now, what I want to do here is go over some of the biggest things that this person talked about in the leak, where we've heard this stuff before, or if we have not heard it before. And then I want to sort of speculate about what I actually think is going on, not only with this leak, but with the future of Marvel. So a lot of this is circling around ideas that we're all pretty sure are going to happen, but haven't really been confirmed anywhere. And that's the question when it comes to this leak. Is this leak confirming a lot of the stuff that we've been talking about, speculating about, and hearing about in the forms of other leaks and rumors? Or is this leak an aggregate of all of that stuff and sort of just out there in one form to try to make it seem like it's a legit leak? I'm not sure. Now, in my opinion, one of the biggest things in this leak is all about Norman Osborn and the Dark Avengers. This is something we've been speculating a lot about. In fact, I broke a story on Friday talking all about how that theory was seemingly validated by a bunch of different pieces of information out there. Go check out that video. It's really good. Pretty sure the Dark Avengers is coming. But again, that report was already out there, and yet it's the biggest, or at least one of the biggest, revelations from this leak. Now, I speculated in my video on Friday that Dark Avengers was likely to be the next big Avengers movie, that they will not do an Avengers movie for some time, and then eventually they'll do one, and it'll be Dark Avengers. However, according to this leak, Marvel is developing both a new Avengers and a young Avengers movie. And sidebar, really crazy thing, H&N Entertainment actually broke a story recently about how they believe the Ultimates was being developed, and that would be a sort of Avengers-like team that was a new franchise that would be launched in the MCU. We've also heard rumors of a Power Pack movie being developed at Marvel Studios as well. So a lot of different team names have been floated around there. Whether or not they're Avengers, this seems to be something that Marvel is doing. Now, the next big thing that this leak breaks is the fact that there will not be another 10-year overarching movie story in the MCU. Instead, going forward, there's going to be mini arcs, and these arcs will last 3 to 6 movies and be 2 to 3 years long. It's also noted in the leak that there will be a separation from the cosmic stories and the Earthbound stories, and the MCU will see a pretty clear distinction between those two going forward. The leak also talks about all the Disney Plus shows that are in development, but we've already talked a lot about them. This includes the Loki show, the Hawkeye show, WandaVision, and of course, Falcon and the Winter Soldier. The leak says there's no X-Men movies or Fantastic Four movies for at least 5 years, but we've also heard that other places. Talks about a Nova movie being in development, and even though a lot of people didn't put that on their initial lists for what will fit into those placeholder movies that Disney announced a couple of weeks back, it has been rumored a lot that there is a Nova movie in development. The bottom line about this leak is it really doesn't break too much new information at all. It simply aggregates a lot of stories, rumors, and leaks from other places and puts them in one spot. So I'm not really sure. I can't decide for myself whether or not this guy is legitimately leaking something here or just trying to get a little bit more internet fame. And on top of that, I don't know why he deleted it, or I don't know why the post is deleted. I don't know if that validates or invalidates this leak. But I almost think that the real story here is that it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter whether it's real or not. We've just had too much smoke for some of these things for it not to be fire. And I honestly believe that a lot of the things that we've been speculating about are going to come to fruition, just perhaps not in the way that it's being depicted right now. So let me go to speculation town here for a second, and let me tell you what I think is actually readable from these details from this leak, and just basically all of the other stories that are being circulated on the internet at the moment. Number one, totally believe the Norman Osborn thing. In fact, I believe at this point there's too much smoke for it not to be real, and I think Sony and Marvel have already come to some sort of an arrangement. Now, is it finalized? No, but the truth is Marvel does not actually wait for things to be finalized before they make moves on them. For instance, during the deal with Spider-Man initially, they had shot a lot of Spider-Man stuff before that deal was finalized. A lot of the Russo brothers' story circled around the Spider-Man character, and as they got closer and closer to the movie releasing, they were getting nervous because that deal was not finalized, and they were like, well, what the hell are we gonna do if it's not, approved? And it was approved, actually. But my point is, I think they've already come to some sort of an agreement and a conclusion on the Norman Osborn character. Does that mean maybe they traded Tom Holland to appear in one of the Venom movies? Maybe. Does that seem copacetic to me? Hell yeah! I want to see Tom Holland going through the rift in the quantum realm and fighting Venom in that universe. They now have a actual way to do it, and I think it would be dope. And if we get Norman Osborn, Iron Patriot, Dark Avengers, Reign, all that stuff, oh my God, yes, totally worth it. But yeah, I think we can put that to bed. That's definitely gonna happen. I would be surprised if it didn't. And I personally believe here that some of the confusion between what movies are actually in development and how they're going to fit into the slots that we saw released several weeks ago is because some of these movies are the same. So like for instance, the Nova movie might be the same as Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, and you might be like, wait, what? How would that work? Well, I think the idea going forward might not be to do so many franchise-specific films, but use the franchise tags that they have established and of course create new ones to sell major events. So imagine if Guardians of the Galaxy 3's subtitle is The War of the Kings or Nova Corps Reborn or something like that. And Nova in this script for this Nova movie is interwoven into the Guardians of the Galaxy 3 movie. This is just like what they did with Captain America 3, subtitled Civil War. Civil War is a massive comic book event. It could have been its own movie, and it technically was. They just sort of used the Captain America perspective as the narrative driving device for the movie, and therefore it is a Captain America movie. So what if Black Panther 2 is the Ultimates movie? It is the idea that Wakanda in the new age on Earth after Thanos decides it has to be ridiculously strong and recruit super powered people and have their own version of the Avengers, and that would be the Ultimates. Maybe it's Carol and T'Challa, and maybe eventually Storm if they find her, or some other super powered people. As this leaker and as many people in this space have talked about, a lot of answers are going to be coming post Spider-Man Far From Home. Not only will we get some diegetic answers from the story in that movie, but Kevin Feige said he will clarify the next couple of phases and what's going on with Marvel after this movie. So at San Diego Comic-Con and again at D23, we're likely to get a ton of new information about what is coming next, and until then, we can only speculate. But my question to you guys is, do you believe this leak? Do you think this leak is true and real, or is it just sort of an aggregate? And does it even matter? I mean, at this point, it's seeming like we have a pretty good idea of at least some things that will be coming next for Marvel. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Now let's check the nerd card before we get out of here. I want to know what Marvel comic book writer started the Ultimates way back in 2002. Pretty prolific comic book writer. Who was it that started the Ultimates for Marvel? Answer that question in the comment section below. As I always say, I hope you're having an awesome and nerdy day, and I'll see you in the next video.